Hey guys, and welcome back to Cultured Boys, a show where two guys just want to have a chat. I'm Nathan, and as always, I'm joined by Pepe. And this week, we are talking about what feels like a classic sports manga, Captain Tsubasa.
Hey, football! Yeah!
Yeah, 40. Get your 40, lad.
Yeah, I have very little experience in football series. I think you had Shudan, didn't you? Shudan was your goal before that.
Yes, I had Shudan, but I also, as a typical Brit,
Yeah.
I did play football when I was a kid.
Okay, yeah.
So I am familiar with the sport. Used to follow the sport as a kid.
Yeah. Only thing I have to go off of really is Blue Lock. Obviously, I know the sport as well. Like,
Yeah.
I know the general rules.
I mean, we grew up in the fucking land of it, so...
If you ask me to explain the offside rule, I might struggle, but
Offside, that's easy. It's
Yeah.
basically when the attacking team, their player goes beyond the defenders of the other team.
yeah, I kind of feel like I do kind of remember it then, but I feel like every time I say that, I feel like I'm saying it wrong.
That's the simplest way of saying it.
Cool. That's good to know. I don't think the thing is with this, I don't think they ever bring out those kind of technicalities in sports manga though.
No.
Like it's only for like a plot point if they ever do.
I mean, to bring the offside rule for a plot point would be a really shit plot point.
I don't think that ever got called out in Blue Lock at all. I don't think they've ever done the offside rule in that.
That's because it literally just be a very momentary thing.
Yeah.
You go offside and then it's like, cool, restart.
Yeah.
You know, it goes to the goalkeeper, he throws it or kicks it out, and then
Yeah.
you just continue playing. It'd be the shittest plot point.
It makes things too like bogged down in the rules, and I
Yeah.
think it's the same with like stuff like in basketball, the shot clock and stuff like that. Like you have to shoot within 25 seconds from when you get possession at the one end of the court to the other.
Yeah.
Obviously, when you're going for dramatic effect, that shit don't go inside.
Yeah, right? You don't want the little technicalities to just like break up your action.
Nah. But Captain Tsubasa though, the arguably what I see as one of the most original sports mangas that I know of.
Yeah, I feel like it's one of the OGs.
Yeah, if you ask me to name you an older one than that, I think I'd struggle. It's one of the ones I know as like you will say in a moment, like it's an 80s series. Not only is it an 80s series, it's an early 80s series.
Very early.
And not only that, it's still going in some forms of media. It's still getting anime adaptations. It had like a game a few years ago.
I think it's had a couple of games recently.
Yeah, it's one of those ones. It's got like 4 packs of DLC for it and stuff like that. So it's like clearly it's big somewhere. I think most likely in Japan. It's like it's cool it came over here, but not many people know about Captain Tsubasa though.
We'll get into that.
Yeah.
We'll get into that.
Yeah, but should we actually let's do the breakdown of Captain Tsubasa before we move any further here.
Yes. So, Captain Tsubasa, created by Yoichi Takahashi, published in Weekly Shonen Jump, March 31st, 1981 to May 9th, 1988. 37 volumes. Young Tsubasa doesn't just love soccer, he's obsessed with it. When he moves cities to improve his skills, he finds new friendships and rivalries. Thank you, Netflix.
Hey, Netflix.
Yeah, I know. Everyone will understand. I'm assuming we did what we agreed on outside of recording, yes? You read the manga?
I read the manga, yeah.
Okay, so did I. That's why Pepe's confused.
Mm-hmm.
But trust me, this was the most succinct that I could find that also related to the original run of Captain Tsubasa.
Yeah.
Because the most confusing thing I found was trying to read the manga and do research on this is that Captain Tsubasa is split up in his different tournaments and stages of life.
Yes.
So Captain Tsubasa is like 4 story arcs of him being a little kid.
Yeah.
Then there's another one that follows him in like high school. And then there's another one and another one. I think there's like 5 Captain Tsubasa series for different stages of his life and career.
Yeah. The latest one is what we can see is Captain Tsubasa World Youth Saga. That was in Jump. So that came back into Jump into 1997. Oh wait, no.
Was that the last one? Dang.
No, there's been a few more. There's been a few more actually. No.
I was going to say, I think there's more than that.
I'd tell you what, they've gone alphabetical order in this. This is what it is. There's Captain Tsubasa Golden 23, which ended in 2009. Again, that was in Weekly Young Jump.
I was going to say, I think Golden 23 was the last one.
That looks at it.
I think that's when he finally achieves his goal of winning a World Cup.
Okay, yeah.
Because that's basically Tsubasa's like dream.
Okay, yeah.
And the whole series is just following him as he works his way through that.
Yeah.
But that's what makes this so confusing. And I think why a lot of people don't keep up with Captain Tsubasa is because you type in Captain Tsubasa and you can't really find this original 4-arc beginning.
Nah.
You get all the other ones that are like the more modern ones.
Yeah.
Because like I'm forever will say support the official release.
Yeah.
But the official release only had the first 3 chapters is all I read because that's all I had available to me legally. And in my other sources, I struggled to find even just the original Captain Tsubasa. I kept finding like Golden 23, World Youth Saga, that one, this one, everything else except Captain Tsubasa base.
Yeah. It's a struggle, and I think that's the problem you have when a work has so much context to it over like arguably, what is it, like almost 40 years of work put into it.
Yeah.
And it's still doing like little bits and pieces, like one shots here and there. The creator obviously like has gone completely into the Tsubasa universe. I'm just looking at some of his other things that he's done. He's a bloody chairman in the soccer club of Nankatsu. Is the actual team. He's a chairman of it. It's an actual soccer club. That's the one thing.
I didn't know that was an actual football team. Dang.
Yeah, it exists and it's currently going, I think. It's still going.
Wow.
But yeah, it's nuts. So you have like 30, 40 years of work into this one series with loads of one-shots, like you said, story arcs, like everything's there, different stages of his life. And it's like, well, I need to start. I don't want to jump straight into the middle of Captain Tsubasa.
Yeah.
I don't want to jump. I want to know what is the original thing that he goes. So I read the first 12 chapters of it.
Oh, okay.
How far did you get into it?
I only got 3 because that's all Manga Plus had available for free.
Yeah, I found alternative sources for it. So I managed to get. I found a source which had. Again, I support the official release. I like the full arc of the original Captain Tsubasa, which was, I think, I don't know whether it went, obviously we've said in this, it went from, the original Captain Tsubasa went from 1981 to 1988. But realistically, the source I have has 100 and something chapters, and that doesn't seem right for a 9-year-old manga.
No.
That probably doesn't even have all of it. It's going off rough scanlations. So I got a bit more of an idea of what the series is like off of the first, like, so a bit more than the first 3. But realistically, I think you can make judgments from it from the first 3 chapters as well. You can kind of see how the series operates. You get an idea of Tsubasa's character.
Oh, yeah.
And you get an idea of how the original Captain Tsubasa anyway runs. We're no strangers to sports manga, me and you.
Oh,
so we
God,
know
no.
a lot of how these kind of things operate. And one thing that immediately jumps out to me about Captain Tsubasa is that this kid is overpowered as fuck.
Oh, yeah.
It's not even like, you know, like when you get like Kuroko Basket or Slam Dunk or anything like these series, it's a rookie character or like someone that supports the team. And regardless, someone's learning how to get better. And it's usually one of the main characters. In this, Tsubasa is like already, like, for his age, he's up there as a competitor. He's.
I mean, are you surprised though? We are talking about literally, as they call it, the heaven-sent child of football.
And it's like the way they phrase it, like, yeah, he's friends with the ball and stuff like that. And it's like,
He is chosen by the gods of football. I mean, literally, it's even in the first chapter.
yeah.
He was almost hit by a truck, but the miracle of having a football with him saved his life.
Yeah.
The truck hit the football and he didn't take any damage.
Yeah.
And then he somehow falls on the football on the pavement and doesn't take any damage.
like physics, I don't think works like that. I haven't tested it. I can't say for sure, but I'm definitely sure it ain't gonna work out like that.
No one should ever test that, by the way. I'm just saying.
No, yeah, like none of that seems feasible. But we'll move. We move past that. We move past. There's a lot of other things that go on in this series. But immediately, it's one of those things. Like when you read through this work as well, it's what feels like the original sports manga. You know what I mean?
It does. I mean, like, what? 81 is super early on for, like, manga as well.
Yeah.
Because what? Like, Astro Boy and stuff only started in, like, what? Late 60s, 70s?
I mean, when did Jump start? I think Jump only started in the 70s.
Yeah, so, like, when we say it's, like, an OG of sports manga, there may be some things before it.
Yeah.
But, like, it definitely is one of the, like, OGs of the bigs.
Weekly Jump started in 1968, and about like just over 10 years later, we get Captain Tsubasa. Think about that though. That is like still like there probably are other series out. There's probably like a baseball series or something that like Japan gets into a lot more. You know what I mean? Because Japan bloody loves their baseball. And I feel like that's probably going to be one of their biggest selling points of that. But when you think, I can't think of any older series than Captain Tsubasa personally. Obviously, I am, as a fan, I'm quite Jump-centric as a fan.
I mean, in terms of sports manga, I can't.
Yeah, no.
The only manga I would have said is older than this is, like, Astro Boy.
Yeah.
But that's because that's Tezuka and, like, one of the first mangas.
Yeah, and in terms of sports manga, 100%, like if I try and think of an older one, I can't think of one. And it shows in the design as well, you know what I mean? In like character design.
Art style is so charming.
Yeah.
I will say, like, right now where I would not believe that Tsubasa is 11, by the way.
No.
Because everything that's happened so far, he's supposed to be 11, but you look at how he's drawn, you're like, that's like a 6-year-old.
Exactly right. That's one thing in manga and anime right now. It's like the opposite thing. Like if there's like an 11-year-old in modern anime and manga,
you're like, oh, that looks like an 18-year-old.
Literally, yeah, which is quite problematic in itself. But
that being said, Tsubasa's one of the only ones that is like that. Because you quickly meet Genzo Wakabashi.
Yes.
But Genzo looks older than 11.
Yes, he does.
And I think he might be slightly older than Tsubasa.
Yeah.
But, like, he looks like he wouldn't be in elementary school.
No, but he's participating in the same teams as that, though, so...
Yeah, in the inter-school tournament.
Yeah.
Even team captain, Ryo Ishizaki, even he looks like a bit bigger and a bit older. He looks a little more like an elementary school kid.
Yeah, I would say so.
Even he looks a bit big for elementary school, but again, they're supposed to be around 11.
Yeah. There's a lot of things we should read in this, and like, wow, the design choice is really interesting. Like you said, like, is it Wakanabe? Is it? No, Wakabashi even.
Wakabashi, yeah.
He 100% looks like he's probably in like middle school at least, like compared to Tsubasa.
You know what's really funny? He looks like a kid that's like been held back too many times.
Yeah, and also he wears a cap during football,
branded as well.
Yeah, that's one thing. Like, imagine getting branding in this. Like, I don't know whether that.
You're right.
I don't know whether that was a law back then.
I don't know, but my guy wears an Adidas cap all the time.
Yeah, makes me wonder if they've censored it in modern media because I haven't seen any of it.
I don't know. On Manga Plus, it was still
there, wasn't it?
It was still Adidas. Yeah.
It probably would have cost them more to blow it out. You know, I don't know, compared to copyright. Actually, I don't know. But regardless of it, like it is mad. But also, where I don't understand this for character design and like physics don't really exist in manga as much as they do in the real world. Considering the kid got hit by a truck and survived because of football. So, like, I don't know, being a goalkeeper wearing a cap is quite how's he making that work? Right.
Well, that's just him in practice, though. We haven't seen him. At least I haven't seen him in a proper game.
He wears the cap in the game as well. At one point, he fucking tears the cap's torn apart. At one point, it's like, how hard are you practicing football that your cap literally falls apart? I'm like,
okay, well then it's definitely just to keep reminding you he's a rich kid.
Yeah, oh yeah, because he just keeps on falling Adidas caps.
Well, yeah, because he's
private school,
That's the one thing they're like, oh, he's private school. He's a rich kid. He's in
Yeah.
the richest family in the town. Everyone else is a poor kid or, a regular kid and doesn't have any branding on anything. He's the only kid I've seen that's got any branding of anything. So I think that is just designed to be like, okay, the cap is stupid. No one would ever wear it during an actual match. But like, he's the rich boy. So, because he's got Adidas.
Yeah.
He's got crazy overseas branded clothes.
Yeah. Arguably, yeah, that is true. Yeah, he's got this like fancy soccer teacher as well. I think you get that established at the start.
Yeah.
Well, I thought it was his dad at first, and then it's like, no, that's actually his teacher.
I thought it was his dad.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, no, that's just his coach, like his private coach. But then, arguably,
Tsubasa also has a private coach as well.
I was going to say, Tsubasa and Nankatsu get an even better private coach. So,
Yeah. Which I kind of like am trying to comprehend the situation of Roberto Hongo because
that conveniently his dad, who
Yeah.
is like a traveling, I think he's a sailor or something, and he's like a boat captain or something.
yeah, he's captain of a ship.
Yeah, but somehow knows one of the players
Yes.
and is friends with one of the Brazilian national football team players
And
who also happens to be
yeah.
third generation half Japanese.
Yeah. And not only that, when Roberto Hongo turns up, he almost immediately starts staying in Tsubasa's house as well.
Yep.
Which I had to reread that a couple times. I was like, wait, what do you mean he's staying in the house? He just turned up. And like Tsubasa's dad isn't there in the house, but he gets an approval letter or whatever it is.
Yep.
And Tsubasa's mum was like, "Oh, okay, yeah, sure, he can stay." And I'm like, "Have you met this man before? I know I know he's like a professional striker or whatever."
Pepe skipped a very concerning detail as well
Yes.
that makes it even worse that Roberto Hongo just appears.
Yeah.
The first time you see the man, you think he's just some homeless drunk guy.
Yeah.
Because all he does is drink.
But like everything about Hongo is red flaggish to me.
Yeah.
Because he just turns up out of nowhere. Again, a drunk. Not only is he a drunk, he starts coaching kids with no DBS checks. Like, I'm not saying it's sus, but it feels sus. And I'm going to skip forward a little bit, Nathan. I'm going to say this as well. I'm going to give you a little spoiler here for 10 chapters in, bear in mind.
Mm-hmm.
Hongo says to Tsubasa's dad when Tsubasa's dad comes back,
Mm-hmm.
he says, "I want to take Tsubasa to Brazil to train him in soccer." And bear in mind, Nathan, it's been 10 chapters at this point. They know nothing about Hongo. Like the relationship between Hongo and Tsubasa's dad is very loose at best. Tsubasa's dad has let him stay in Tsubasa's house, and now Hongo's like, "Yeah, I want to take your kid to Brazil to train him in soccer." Brother, what? And then I'm going to say this now. They're very much on board with it. Everyone in Tsubasa's family is like, "Yeah, sure, you can do this as long as you win nationals, though." And it's like, what? And in what universe is this an acceptable thing to happen for an 11-year-old kid? Like, none of...
But Pepe, it's fine. It's only Mr. Hongo, the drunk ex-pro player from the Brazilian national team, who's dad's best friend. It's fine, Pepe.
If they went years back,
There's nothing wrong.
Yeah. It's so...
No, there's nothing wrong,
it's
bruh.
so red flaggish.
No, it's fine.
It's
Nah,
so
it's
red
cool.
flaggish.
It's fine because Tsubasa's dream, man. He's the football kid.
Yes.
Heaven sent football child.
No, like...
It's all good, man.
Wait until he's like, I don't know, 18 or 16 is before you go off with a man you've met like fucking 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, I mean for Tsubasa and his mum, but like his dad's known him for I don't know how long.
We don't know how long. That's the key point, Nathan. As far
Well,
as...
actually, we're supposed to believe it's quite a long time. I think they might have been teammates because in Roberto's letter to the São
Yes, it's
Paulo
true,
football
yeah.
team like head coach, he was like, I took Captain Tsubasa's suggestion
Yeah.
So I don't know if he said captain as in like ship captain or captain as in like he was the ex-captain
No.
of our football team.
You are right. There is some kind of football history with Tsubasa's dad as well. There is some kind of thing there because I think it is briefly mentioned in one of those 12 chapters that I read. And I think it's like Hongo like says like, oh, let's see how your let's see if the genes carry on or something like that or something ridiculous like that.
Yeah, yeah. He at one point in the 3 chapters I read, he was like, "Oh yeah, like father like son" or something like that.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff there which is like it alludes to it at least.
Something similar to that. So
Yeah. Regardless though, it still feels quite sus. Everything about Hongo seems sus to me. Like I know he's supposed to be like this top level guy and he's supposed to be the sensei or whatever, but the fact you're introducing me as a drunk as well is quite like understand that he's drinking because of his retina problems.
yeah, he might go blind if he's not careful.
If he plays football anymore.
Well, yeah, if he takes like one more rough tumble or something, yeah,
Yeah.
he will go blind. But I think the funniest thing was he gets introduced and then Tsubasa wakes up and then he's in his house and then Tsubasa's like, "What are you doing here?" And he's like, "I would have been here sooner, but your mom kicked me out. I did turn up at 2 a.m. though.
Yeah, who turns
She
up
thought
at
I
this?
was a robber."
Who turns up at 2 a.m., man? Jeez. It's like, bro, Hongo, the most sus fucking guy.
Well, the thing is, he probably turned up at 2 a.m. fucking drunk.
Yeah.
Like, this is like homeless looking man turns up drunk 2 a.m. at your house. And he's like, "Yeah, this is where I'm supposed to stay."
Yeah, it's
Yeah. They just moved in like the day before as well. Or that afternoon. And he's like, "Yeah, I was supposed to stay here."
oh yeah, because they just moved to the village as well. Yeah, they just moved to the
Yeah.
village as well. Forgot about that bit. Yeah, like it's extremely,
Literally.
it's so fucking sus, man. Everything about it is so sus.
They moved in that afternoon and then he's like rocks up drunk at like 2 a.m. like, "Yeah, your husband's not gonna stay here."
Yeah, nah. Like yeah, he's lucky that they didn't call the police on him. Jesus Christ. But so again, I'm putting it down to different times as well. 1980s, I guess. Is that.
Yeah. Well, also it's a manga.
Yeah, here's a manga as well. I think stranger things have happened. I'm sure.
Yeah.
But like going back to the whole like Captain Tsubasa as a series in general, you can see that there's a lot of stuff here that like a lot of modern sports manga have taken on as well. You can see this is a revered series,
Yeah.
and you can see where certain series, modern series, take influence from this as well. I feel anyway. I mean, again, we don't know if there's probably been older sports series that we're not knowledgeable of that Captain Tsubasa probably takes inspiration from there as well. But as a sports series, you can tell that this is a classic. This is instantly a classic, and
Yeah.
the first 3 chapters, from what you've read and the bits that I've read as well, it does hold up as a sports series.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel dated at all. It feels, I mean, it does feel dated in some senses, but not in terms of the actual sport itself, I'd say.
I think the only thing that feels strange is, like you said before, is that Tsubasa feels so overpowered.
Yeah.
So, like, right now, I'm like, the challenge really for Tsubasa is bringing up everyone else.
Mm-hmm.
Because, like, in 3 chapters, he's already portrayed as, like, the best. He's gonna be the best kid in town, right?
Yeah.
There are kids who will be comparable to him, but they will have different skills or whatever. Like, Genzo is, like, the god tier goalkeeper already.
Yeah.
But he's a goalkeeper. Tsubasa is a striker. And yeah, there are other kids who are, like, good strikers or good forwards, but, like, they need teammates.
Yeah.
Whereas, like, Tsubasa is kind of like, I could do it all by myself.
Yeah. I think the only person that, like you said, holds up close to him was it Wakabashi, and that's the goalkeeper, basically.
Yeah.
That's where Tsubasa's first challenge is. And within the first match that they have, I can't remember if I don't think you got this far.
No.
I think so in the first match they actually end up drawing.
Ah.
So it's actually like, okay, look, at least Tsubasa has someone that can rival him at some points. Obviously, Wakabashi's fuming because Tsubasa's able to get goals on him. But the way, you know how sports manga, you know how manga works, it's a team sport, and it's like, oh, I value you as an opponent and all this kind of stuff. So it's like, it's wholesome as well.
Ah, how are you ever supposed to beat the heaven-sent child of football?
Within the Heaven sent child of film is absurd fucking
I
line.
know. I love
for an
keep
11
bringing
year
it
old
up
as
because
well.
it's so funny. It's so funny just to constantly be like, the heaven sent child of football. He is the god of the sport.
Yeah,
Blessed by the gods of football.
This is it. I like later on as well. You do get introduced to another character called Taro Misaki. I believe that it's the same, but he gets introduced in the first 10 chapters.
He appears right at the end of chapter 3.
Yeah, does he turn up in chapter 3? Okay, yeah,
It's literally like the last page and a half he appears.
yeah. He does join Nankatsu, weirdly as a substitute in extra time in the match against Wakabashi. So, because I'll tell you this as well. Like, I hope you don't mind any of these spoilers, Nathan. By the way, it depends if you go read more. I don't know if you are or not. Depends if you're anything.
I mean, I would like to, but it's difficult, so I might have to just go find the anime.
I actually really want to watch the anime as well at some point, but we'll talk about that in a second. But it's so funny because in the match with Wakabashi, like they end up at full time, it's 1-1, and then they go into extra time, and that's when it becomes 2-2. But it only becomes 2-2 because they start doing these tactics to close off Tsubasa from scoring. And then in extra time, Misaki turns up and is like, where's the principal of Nankatsu? I must find the principal so I can sign up to the school. So he finds the principal at the game and signs up at the school during the game. And at that point, he goes and says, I can join you guys. I'm a student of Nankatsu as of this moment. So he ends up playing in extra time.
Could you imagine this shit like IRL? Like, oh, I literally just signed my contract for the team. Put me in coach right now.
And they're like, you know what? Yeah, listen to him. Let's put this guy in.
It's our new star striker.
We have no clue what this guy's skills are. We're just going to put him in.
Yep, we signed him 10 seconds ago.
And we've got a kit for him as well. He's sorted. Like,
No, but it'd be even better. He's just in his streets.
yeah. you know, like in old school, you had like, go find the what is it, the leftover kit. You have to go rummage through that. Yeah. Find us like the spare school shorts that you have. Yeah, you wearing those, bro.
Man's in like half of a suit and half a gym kit.
Yeah. Oh man, he's got one shin pad. Oh man, yeah.
Oh my days.
But for Captain Tsubasa anyway, like we mentioned earlier about the anime, I actually kind of want to watch the OG anime as well, because with how the anime is on Crunchyroll, for example, I think it's one of those further down the line ones. It's probably like the second or third arc, I think.
Yeah, I'd imagine so. Again, like from the way the manga is one of the most difficult I've had to try and track down.
Yeah.
I think the anime is going to be exactly the same.
Yeah. When will the anime come out?
I think this is just a thing with these sports series, because it's like tangent. I tried to get Pepe into watching Hajime no Ippo instead of reading the manga, but Hajime no Ippo is also one of those where the anime is split up, and I didn't know that. So I just told Pepe, oh, whatever's on Netflix, go and watch that, assuming it was the start, but that was like part way in.
Yeah.
And like, I find a lot of long sports series are like that.
Yeah.
Have you ever looked up like Prince of Tennis or Ace of Diamond?
Yes.
And you're just like, where the fuck do you, where?
It's like the most annoying thing is when you do try and find these series, it's always the second part of it. It's Prince of Tennis 2 is on Crunchyroll. I'm like, I don't want Prince of Tennis 2. I want to watch the original Prince. And it's like the first Slam Dunk.
Yeah.
It's the same way that like
it's actually the last Slam Dunk.
It's like the last match. So you're like all of these series, which actually I do really, really want to get into from the start. It's so hard to track down because obviously they're so freaking old at this point.
Yeah. It's just incredibly difficult to find the origins.
Yeah.
And I think that's also where, because it's sports series, so somebody somewhere probably assumes you'll be fine with just sort of dropping in at some point and being like, oh, well, I mean, they're just playing sports, so like, what do I need to understand? It's like, yeah, but like, there's like character growth, character interactions, you know, like sometimes there's a whole history there that you've got no context for, and they just assume you'll be fine with that.
Yeah, this is the one thing. I'm looking at the Captain Tsubasa anime, and the first one had 128 episodes in 1983. And then it also had 4 films.
Jeez.
And then they had they had an OVA in 1989. Then there's another TV series at 1994. Then there's another TV series in 2001. Then there's another TV series in 2018, and then another TV series in 2023. In the 2001 one, that's the road to 2002.
Oh, okay.
They don't specify which one it is in 2018 or 2023. So you don't really...
I'm assuming each subsequent one is probably the next story arc or next stage of his career then. If one of them is Road to 2002, Road to 2002 is one of the story arcs.
Yeah.
So then it probably is just following that.
Right. So I'm under the impression now that 2018 Captain Tsubasa is a remake, right?
Okay. But is it a remake of the...
Apparently so, because it's elementary school arc. Soar Towards the Sky is what the episode is called, and that's what the first chapter is called as well.
Okay.
And episode 4 is called Tsubasa and Roberto, which makes me feel like... And episode 3 is called New Nankatsu Soccer Club Start. So all of these feel like they're the chapters that we read, basically.
Okay. So the 2018 one, that's not bad then. That means it's fairly modern.
It feels like that's easier to find than
Oh, wow.
anything else. Yeah.
We hope it is.
Yeah. By the looks of it, Shin Captain Tsubasa is the one that launched in 1989.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever Captain Tsubasa World Youth is the 1994 one, and then Road to 2002 is obviously going to be Road to 2002. At least we know now that Captain Tsubasa 2018 is probably our most... Like, if we're going to watch the anime, that's probably your best shot of it.
Yeah.
And possibly it's a more condensed version of it as well. Like, they've got a... How many episodes is this?
That doesn't sound bad. Because I was like thinking the only other way you could probably do it, which is arguably the worst way, because I know for a fact all the games have a grown-up Tsubasa on it, so there's no way you would start from when he's a little kid.
Yeah. Imagine like, oh yeah, here's your elementary school soccer mode in this game.
Well, I mean, like, because it's just football, right? So like,
Yeah.
you just change out the models and stuff,
It might
and
be,
you
yeah.
could get super lazy and not have to really change out the field, like the pitch. But there's like a mobile gacha game, and then there was the one on PS4 from Bamco.
Yes.
But like, both of those have Tsubasa much older.
Yeah.
I might try out the gacha game, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah. Gacha's probably the most accessible here.
I wouldn't expect it to go from the beginning.
The PlayStation 4 game that came out like only, feels like a few years ago, is probably more than that. That goes quite cheap quite regularly as well.
Yeah, but everything I've seen of that, I'm like, I'm pretty sure he's already probably on some sort of professional team.
100%. Yeah. Look, by the looks of it. Yeah.
Like, I think he's already on some sort of Japan team.
I remember buying the Jump 50th Famicom as well.
Yeah.
That's got 3 Captain Tsubasa games on it as well.
Ooh.
Only problem I'd have with that is that it's all in Japanese, so I wouldn't understand what the fuck is going on. I don't know the controls either. Also, it's a Famicom game as well, so no, probably fail quite miserably.
Interesting.
Yeah, but it is good though. It's one of those ones like it does hold up as a classic series, and if anything, it does make me want to try it as well.
It does. It's actually quite a good read.
Yeah, I do want to. If anything, I want to track down that 2018 anime coming from this, because yes, I did find sources to read more chapters, but like, who knows when they were uploaded and went back then? The scan's a bit.
Yeah.
So if I'm going to get into this at all, 2018 anime is what I want to try. Now I just need to find it. I just need to find that anime. That's the next thing.
Honestly, we just need to know where it is for us.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
But I 100% agree, man. Like, I read the 3 chapters and I was like, oh man, it really sucks that the official release, that's all I was able to get.
Yeah.
Because I really did want to read more.
Mm-hmm.
I love my sports series, and obviously I can't kill off fucking Captain Tsubasa, because if it was gonna die, it would have died already. But
yeah, it's held up for a while for that long.
yeah, I'm like, I just want more, man.
It's got that longevity for a reason.
It's also not super fantastical either, you know, like
No.
it's not like Kuroko no Basket where it's like, oh, the generation of miracles where they fucking do
Yes,
impossible.
yeah.
Okay, Tsubasa does an impossible thing. He fucking kicks a football like halfway across town, but
Yeah, it's it's whimsical in the most grounded sense of it. It's not like, oh, this
yeah.
guy has unlimited like 3-pointers and stuff like that. I can score any way from the free.
Yeah, it's not like Tsubasa's been fucking practicing and he can score a goal from anywhere on the field.
Yeah, it's not like that. It might be further on, who knows?
He's not winding up and fucking screaming out like, Tsubasa Comet Kick!
Yeah. It's not like an Inazuma 11 thing where there's like fucking fire everywhere.
Yeah.
And, like,
Although saying that, I
energy
fucking
balls.
love Inazuma.
I know you do. This is the one that, like, on a scale, I think, like, because Shudan was quite.
That was super grounded. That was like realistic as fuck. That was literally like a bunch of kids playing the game and they were learning the fundamentals and stuff.
Yeah.
But Tsubasa is a little more fantastical than that, but not full on Inazuma 11.
Yeah. It's like that meat in the middle.
Yeah. Literally like right in the middle there.
Yeah, it's a great series from what I've seen anyway, and it's one like because it's a classic, you got to give it so many more props to it as well because it has like that's the one thing when you look at modern sports series, they have a lot of inspiration to go off. There's been like hundreds of thousands of sports series at this point, like in all different like different sports,
and a lot of them are Captain Tsubasa.
yeah, I'm pretty sure a tenth of them are. So like you have so much more inspiration to go off and like creating a sports manga or anime these days. But think about in 1980, there's such a more limited pool in that point. Like you're literally going off of what I imagine what football was like back then, and you actually have real life scenarios to go off of and making it into a series which kids will love as well.
Yeah.
He does a great job of doing it, and you got to give props to the creator for that. And obviously, creating that series and riding with it and making it an actual sports club as well is insane.
Well, I mean, what came first? Nankatsu Soccer Club or Captain Tsubasa?
That's the next question.
Do you know what I mean? Like, we don't know.
Nankatsu. Hold on, let me have a look.
We probably will know soon. But no, it is cool though. I don't know. Like, I find sometimes like, even though I don't enjoy following football because I just kind of don't care, it's cool when they like make the sport a little fantastical.
Yeah. You need it a little bit. That's one thing. Like a super grounded series, like is sometimes like is a little bit less fun than like you need that whimsical stuff. You know what I mean? You just need that little whimsical bit here and there. I'm not sure about the Nankatsu thing. Apparently, it was like the club's origin dates back to 1983. It says.
So it was after because Captain Tsubasa one shot was in 1980.
Yeah,
and this is the serialized in 81, and their football club was in 83.
Yeah.
Maybe it's from Captain Tsubasa.
Right, okay, hold on. The club's origin dates back to 1983. In those days, the club was mainly centered its attention on Tokiwa Junior High School Club. So I think originally the club was created in 1983, but it was called Tokiwa Club, is what it was called. Eventually got renamed to Katsushika.
So it was a high school club.
And then in 2013 it was renamed Nankatsu Soccer Club.
Probably because of Captain Tsubasa, like after decades of having it.
So yes, it is because of Captain Tsubasa.
Okay.
So the fact that don't know how I feel about that, but they obviously it's a draw, isn't it? Like they rename your club after an anime series.
That's cool though. I don't know how many series could say they've done something like that though. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
that would literally the equivalent is like your favorite series having something that could be in real life. Like, that's like Hercule getting a whole city. Orange City turned to Hercule City. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, it's true.
We had a football club for our town, but then you set your series in our town, so no, we're just gonna call it Nankatsu.
Yeah. It's a bizarre thing, but it just speaks to how iconic Captain Tsubasa is out there, I guess. Like, plus it makes sense if it's like if it still holds its worth in 2013 when the series was originally established in 1980. You know what I mean?
All I can say is that teams, wherever they practice, if it's just like a pitch or they have a stadium or something, there has to be a fucking like Tsubasa statue or something, surely.
Oh, I feel like there would have to be. Like, I don't know if there's anything. Like, again, I've only just found this Wikipedia page, so it's...
Like, could you imagine, like...
I mean, it's an actual team as well. This one, it's actual competing team. It's not like they're like the Harlem Globetrotters or anything either. It's literally... it's an actual, like, they actually participate in leagues as well. They're in the Kanto Soccer League.
Oh, okay.
So
Kanto, oh my god, they're in the Pokemon for...
we're going too far into... Yeah, we're going into the illusion of fiction. But yeah, they're still going. Like, they've got a squad. They're still doing stuff. So fair play to them. Like the Nankatsu Soccer Club.
That's cool though.
That is really cool. I actually like. It's just a cool thing.
That's so sick. Like, honestly, that's so cool when you think about it. You know, again, I just can't think of many examples like that.
I don't think so at all. I think, and as I was saying before, like for a series that started out in 1980, like if you go rename a club to any anime or manga situation,
right,
it's gonna be the one that's been going since the 80s and is like arguably is world famous now. If it's got games out like across the world, I'd say that's a world famous series.
Yeah,
obviously a classic series as well. Like something that's going on for ages, has so much content. If you go give that award to any manga anime and give that participation, it makes sense for it to be Captain Tsubasa.
Yeah. Also, you have to rate it that like even in the newer medias, the art style really hasn't changed.
No.
Like,
oh god, yeah, especially.
You think of that game on PS4, you're like,
Yeah.
there is no mistaking that art style. Like, he looks the same as he would in the manga.
Absolutely, yeah. They haven't changed it at all. Like, you know, like I want to say it a little bit loosely, but you know, like Initial D to MF Ghost.
Yeah.
I feel like the art style changes quite a bit in that.
Yeah, there's like more refinement.
There's more refinement. But I think Captain Tsubasa, it looks consistently like the same with that, and like it's great. I mean, that if you have that certain art style, it's iconic to that art style as well. So, and it's an 80s thing as well. Like,
I mean, Toriyama's style like evolved.
it did, yeah.
You know, like it changed over the time period.
Like Ichiro Oda's art style has changed a lot. Like when you look
Yeah.
at those early chapters of One Piece to now, yeah, that's completely different.
That's why I'm like, you know, it's like in some ways you got to rate it as well, because like you don't see many series that, well, obviously you don't see a modern series that tries to replicate the 80s style.
No, oh no, yeah.
But like to be from that time period and still like keep the same style without really needing to evolve much, or like I just think it's kind of cool too.
It stands out amongst the whole, like in modern times as well. Like when you see Captain Tsubasa alongside all these other, not just sports manga and anime in general, it stands out so much more. You look at it like, why does it look like that? And you realize, wait, this series has history. I don't want to say why does it look like that, but like it's the rounded face, you know.
You see him and you're like, who's that guy? Why does he look different?
Yeah, it speaks to the decades and decades of work that have been put into the series. Like, it's, don't get me wrong, a little bit more simplistic compared to some character designs you see now, but I don't think that's a bad thing at all. I think it's great to have that kind of thing.
No, I actually think it serves it.
Yeah, 100%. But yeah, is there anything else we really have to say about Captain Tsubasa? Like, I think like we'd both recommend it easily. Like,
oh yeah, I would.
Just for the history of the series itself, like everything that goes.
I would if you can find an easy way to consume it.
Yeah,
like
that's it. They're like from the start as well. We're not just talking. Yeah, let's go in the latest Crunchyroll series. It is like,
I mean, whatever you're gonna do, go and check it out. But like, if you want to just know, if you want to go from the start, it's a bit of a struggle.
There's a barrier to entry there, 100%. But if anything, it makes me want to go and check it out even more. Like I want to try and find this, and hopefully there is an ease of it somewhere.
Yeah, same.
Well, on that note, guys, we'll wrap this this episode up. Let us know what your what your experiences with Captain Tsubasa. Have you played the games? You watched the anime? You read the manga? Tell us how you got into the series, or if you're going to start the series, please do let us know. And remember to like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell button for future Cultured Boys videos. Check the link in our description. Oh, what's this? Hold on. Nathan's showing me something. What is this? Captain Tsubasa Dream Team on what?
On my phone. I'm installing
There
this
you go.
game.
Oh, he's got the game. He's got the game. Okay, yeah. Have you played that game? Let us know as well. And and yeah, I think I was saying, yeah, there's podcasts in our description. It's our podcast. It's not anyone else's podcast.
Links to the Captain Tsubasa podcast.
Wait, no, we're not. That makes it sound like we're... Wait, Captain Tsubasa podcast. I thought you meant the app then. It makes it sound like we're sponsored by the app. Anyway, catch you next time, guys. Bye.
Bye.